Why I want to be published by Indirect Books. Last Friday, a distinguished scientist asked me, "What is modernism?" Scientists like to understand things clearly. No problem there. They're rational people. But after a couple of margaritas, they get curious about what the artists are up to, particularly the artists with an awkward attitude to fashion and the market. The problem is in giving any sort of clear or ready answer to that particular question. Why is this a problem? Because giving an answer is likely to commit the act of definition. When we define something, we clothe in boundaries or limits its meaning and its value. We define something because we want to manage it or tidy it up. Then genuine modernism isn't manageable. Whenever the culture experts spoke about modernism on the radio, TV, newspapers, or online, their effect is to cage it, make it safe. But genuine literary modernism is a restless spirit. It's an adventure in the way of saying, or in the form of expression. And adventures, they entail risk, don't they? In the general language of our culture, nearly every time I hear something said, I've already heard it 100 times. Modernism speaks for the first time. Now, these may themselves sound like definitions, but they're pretty indirect, and maybe they're beliefs rather than definition. I searched for publishers who might share such beliefs. Late 2022, I sent work to a journal that declared it was risk-taking and that its priority was form. That journal was List's free literary review. The work was so promptly accepted, I knew I was dealing with something out of the ordinary. Later that day, I was invited to be a featured author in the journal. To the editors, Dan White and Jessica Denzer, I replied with the compliment that they reminded me of those great risk-takers Margaret Anderson and Jane Heap of the Little Review, who were prepared to go to jail for publishing episodes of James Joyce's Ulysses. I hoped this wouldn't make me nerdle. Far from it. Dan White and Jessica Denzer have now set up Indirect Books, a publisher of risk-adept literature in the revolutionary spirit of high modernism. Our shallow, obedient, excitable culture needs desperately outfits such as Indirect Books. To the courage, intelligence, taste, patience, and editorial skill of Dan and Jessica, I can testify, having worked with them now for close to 3 years. Which, to conclude, is why I'm honoured to have my fourth novel, Talbot The Fall, a comedy with support, published by Indirect Books. Can you not hear the beating of wings as the cage is opened?